Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Talk VSS on Rav FM. We'll be airing on every Friday. It's just an unusual date that we're doing it today. Um, on this show, we'll be talking a lot about sports, mainly baseball and basketball. Um, and my name is Cooper. I am one of the hosts on this show, and I like baseball, basketball, and a little bit of hockey. Follow me at Cooper Hernick on Twitter.
Okay, I am SL, a student currently attending Vaughan Secondary School. I like hockey and basketball, but I'm interested in all sports, and I'll be reporting to you.
Now we're going to be doing an MLB playoff rundown. Uh, for the NL wildcard game, I think that the Washington Nationals played really well with a very good starting pitching performance from Max Scherzer and Steven Strasburg. I feel like they just completely defeated Milwaukee. The heck? I lost my. I feel like they just completely defeated Milwaukee because they were without Christian Yelich. I think Washington just won it fair and square. In the AL wildcard game, I think that it was a complete massacre, and the Oakland A's should have won this game on their home soil, but they should have won this game with a very good starting pitcher in Sean Manaea, but they lost to Charlie Morton, who is a very good pitcher on the Tampa Bay Rays squad with the lowest payroll in the MLB. So I don't know how Oakland come back from losing to Tampa Bay, although Tampa has a really good team. I just feel like Oakland should have won.
In this series, I feel like it was a very even matchup from Game 1 to 4. But in the final game, Game 5, it was a complete massacre. But Atlanta allowed 10 runs in the first inning. Then, therefore, had to pull their starter, Mike Foltynewicz, after only 2 outs. So not a very good outing for the starter. I feel like the Atlanta completely choked. But at least they have more years with this current core to contend. But for the St. Louis Cardinals, I feel like they did a very good job playing the series. They played very fundamentally sound basketball.
Baseball.
I feel like the Dodgers should have won. They could have won, but as usual, they choked. I think that because they could not rely on Kershaw to start or to come out of the bullpen during the playoffs. Kershaw is an amazing pitcher, but he's an awful playoff pitcher, and that's the reason why the Dodgers lost.
I feel like that in this series, the Houston Astros, they deserved to win this series. They all around dominated this squad with the lowest payroll in baseball. But I feel like that Tampa, if they had some good players this offseason, they could easily beat Houston next year. I'm very proud of Houston because they're my second favorite team. I'm really happy for them that they won. In the Minnesota Twins versus Yankees series in ALDS, I can't believe that the Minnesota Twins have let the Yankees beat them again. I can't believe that they've lost 13 straight games to the Yankees. It's absolutely unbelievable how much this team just falls apart against the Yankees. I was really hoping that this would be the year for the Twins, and they'd break through the glass and beat the Yankees finally, but instead they fell off a cliff. I really hope I see the Twins win a playoff series in my lifetime. I feel like that in the ALCS, I feel like the series was very evenly matched up, so anyone could have won it. I was rooting for the Astros. I wouldn't have been surprised if the Yankees would have won it, but the Astros won it with an amazing walk-off home run in the ninth inning off the Yankees flamethrowing closer southpaw Aroldis Chapman. If this walk-off homer wasn't given up by the Yankees might have won this series, and then would have went to to the World Series and could have won the whole thing. Could have won their 28th World Series in franchise history. But instead, the Yankees choked. Sorry.
I'm so happy that the Nationals broke their curse of never going far in the playoffs. And the Nationals did it. They won their first World Series in the Nationals in Expos franchise history. They were playing with fire throughout the whole playoffs. They were the underdogs. They did it with an excellent rotation which has Mad Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, who won the World Series MVP, Anibal Sanchez, and of course, lefty Patrick Corbin. The Nationals also have a very strong hitting core with youngster Trey Turner, Juan Soto, and Victor Robles. They also have some veteran hitters with Anthony Rendon, Ryan Zimmerman, and Adam Eden.
On the other side, the Astros were a juggernaut in the regular season and steamrolled every team in front of them. The Astros did it with the rotation full of aces. Zach Greinke, Justin Verlander, Garrett Cole. I swear I dream of having this rotation, and the Astros made it happen in real life. Plus, they have Alex Bregman, who's an MVP candidate. They also have a former MVP in Jose Altuve, who is always amazing. I would have liked to see Houston win their second World Series in 3 years. Now we're going to go to a break, and after the break we're going to be doing an NBA season preview. We're going to go to a break.
Now we are back after a little break. This is the Sports Talk Vs. On this half of the segment, we are going to be doing NBA season preview for the Eastern and then Western Conference. So let's commence the rankings. So in the Eastern Conference, we have the Milwaukee Bucks. I think the Bucks will probably have the 1 seed. I think to be able to have the reigning MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo. They also have a solid supporting cast in Chris Middleton, Eric Bledsoe, Brook Lopez, and many more players. They also have a very good coach in Mike Budenholzer. I very much feel that the Bucks will have the number 1 seed in the East, but they probably won't win the Eastern Conference Finals in the playoffs. I feel like by the East will go to a different team in the playoffs that I won't disclose.
Yeah, I feel like the Philadelphia 76ers had a pretty good offseason where they got Josh Richardson, Tobias Harris, and Al Horford. The 76ers have the tallest lineup in the NBA, with their shortest player only being 6'6". Normally, a big lineup is not very good in the regular season, but is good in the postseason. Normally, in the regular season, you want to have a good small lineup with a lot of depth. So I hope for good luck for the 76ers, even though I'm not the biggest fan of them. So good luck to you.
Now on to number 3, the Boston Celtics. The Celtics had a really good offseason. They lost their backup point guard, Terry Rozier, to the Charlotte Hornets in a sign-and trade for the Hornets' greatest player of all time, Kemba Walker. But unfortunately, they also lost Kyrie Irving in free agency and Al Horford, which is going to be a massive blow to the team. They also got Enes Kanter, who is a very good center on offense, but not very good on defense. They also got the tallest player in the NBA, Taco Fall, who I have very high praise for.
Yeah. Now number 4, the Toronto Raptors. I'm a huge Raptor fan. As many of you may know, I'm really happy that we won a championship this past season. I was even more excited for the ring ceremony a few weeks ago. I'm a little bit worried about this season not having Kawhi Leonard, who snaked us in the offseason. But I think we can at least make the second round, maybe even Eastern Conference Finals. I also think that Pascal Siakam's max contract extension, it's going to pay off. That Pascal Siakam's contract extension is going to really pay off in the long run. I don't think. I'm kind of worried about the Raptors. I'm just hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst for the Raptors. Good luck for the Raptors.
Number 5, the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets, in my opinion, have one of the best free agencies out of most teams this year. They outright robbed the New York Knicks of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I kind of think it's a little bit high risk, high reward thing that they signed Kevin Durant such a big deal for arguably not that much term. Then remember, he's most likely not even going to play this season, so it kind of worries me what they're thinking. I hope the best for them.
The Indiana Pacers, in my opinion, have oodles and noodles of death, but they really don't have any star player that will carry them to the promised land. That, that and with missing Victor Oladipo for most of the season with a quad injury that he sustained last season, it's not looking very good in the flyover state.
I think the Orlando Magic have a good chance of making the playoffs this season because they have a very good young core with players like Markelle Fultz, Mo Bamba, and Jonathan Isaac. They also have an all-star center in Nikola Vucevic. They also have some really big role key players that could help them down the road. I can see the Magic maybe getting out of the first round if they have a so-so opponent, but I can't see them getting any farther. I feel like the Miami Heat are not going to have the best season. Although they got Jimmy Butler in free agency, they lost Hassan Whiteside, so they no longer have a starting veteran center. Overall, I feel like the team is missing something. I feel like they're going to barely miss the playoffs. The Pistons have one of the best front courts in the NBA in Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin. They also have a starting point guard, Derrick Rose, who is a former MVP. The Pistons also have two long-term protege from the Bucks in Tony Snell and Thon Maker, who could be very good for the team. But the Pistons might not do that well this season because they are lacking in talent. But overall, the team has a very good starting lineup, but doesn't have good depth.
The Atlanta Hawks. I think Atlanta has a very great team for the future. They have a great young core of Trigger Trae Young, Cam Reddish, Kevin Herter, DeAndre Hunter, DeAndre Bembry, and John Collins. But on the flip side, they have some old players in Evan Turner, Chandler Parsons, and Alan Crabb, a.k.a. Alan Krabby Patties. Yeah, who are in combined making $62.2 million. Overall, I think that they probably have the best young core in the NBA and the brightest future. Odin.
I think that when it comes to the Western Conference, the Lakers are going to be the top team in the Western Division because they have a team where a player like LeBron James is not their first scoring option. They also have a possible MVP candidate in Anthony Davis, and they have the best overall centers in the league with Dwight Howard, DeMarcus Cousins, and JaVale McGee. They have young players also like Kyle Kuzma and Alex Caruso. If the Lakers can stay healthy, I believe they have a really good chance of being the top of the Western Conference. After having the best free agency in the NBA by signing two superstars in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and re-signing role players like Patrick Beverley, I think that the Clippers are one of the best teams in the West because their defense is hands down the best defensive team in the NBA. I also think that their team will be very good because the team has amazing chemistry from last year, and with additional leadership from Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, I believe the Clippers have a very good chance of being one of the top seeds in the West. I think the Denver Nuggets are one of the top seeds in the West also because the Denver Nuggets last year were one of the youngest teams in the NBA and they dominated the Western Conference. Also, I think their chemistry has increased since, so I believe the Denver Nuggets are going to have a very good chance of being one of the top seeds in the West. I think the Utah Jazz are going to be very good this year because they had the most underrated free agency in the NBA by signing players like Mike Conley and amazing role players in Boban Bogdanovic and Jeff Green. They also have a superstar in the making that is Donovan Mitchell, and they have the defensive player in the year, Rudy Gobert.
Two-time.
If Mike Conley can stay healthy and if the team's chemistry can improve, the Utah Jazz are going to be a team to be messing with. I think the Houston Rockets are going to be a top 5 team in the West because they have a MVP candidate, James Harden, and in the free agency, the Rockets traded for a man that averaged a triple-double in 2 straight seasons. That is Russell Westbrook. The team has really good role players like Eric Gordon and Clint Capella, and the team chemistry is amazing. I also think that Westbrook fits their system perfectly. He pushes the pace, and with his playmaking abilities, the ball movement for this team is going to be unstoppable.
the Golden State Warriors have the ability to work as a team. Uh, uh, they have made the finals 5 straight years, and they're one of the greatest teams of all time. They have the greatest coaching staff and assistant coaches. Um, Nothing's showing. They have great assistant coaches that all show love towards their players, that keep pushing their players to play harder.
The Portland Trail Blazers. I would say the Portland Trail Blazers are a strong team, but the main reason why I think they're a strong team is because they have a leader, Damian Lillard, best point guard in the league right now. He pushes everyone to their limit, and with him on the team, I think there's nothing but great inside of them. Number 8, the Dallas Mavericks. In the past 4 years, the Dallas Mavericks have had the slowest offense in the NBA. It's not so easy to depend on Dirk Nowitzki, as he is aging and isn't as good as he was in his prime.
Make sure to tune in next week. On Friday, make sure to tune in on Friday this week for our next episode, where we're going to be doing top 5 lists involving multiple sports.
See you on Monday.